Yes. We issued new shares, okay? What kind of shares?
Common stock.
So we're gonna credit common stock. Thomas, what goes into the stock account when I issue new shares? Par. The common stock has a $2 par, and we issued 10,000 shares, so we're gonna credit common stock for $20,000. Okay? Do you have equal credits? No. So I need another credit, don't I? So, Thomas, what this is saying, the market was willing to pay $15 for stock that I had assigned a $2 par value. Okay? So, there is no rhyme or reason to it. And the reason there's no rhyme or reason to it is because that $2 par was completely arbitrary number that I picked out 6 months ago. Okay? So rather than getting hung up on this and trying to understand why it happens, just understand that I've got $150,000 cash. Where did it come from? It came from the owners. Okay? I saw a hand over here. Yes.
Why is the common stock going?
10,000 shares times $2 par. I have watched students fight this and fight this and fight this, and it's just not worth it. You know, why is a touchdown worth 6 points? Have you ever questioned that? This is my rule, just follow the rule, okay?
And par value ever change?
If I have a stock split, which I'll get to Wednesday night, okay? I can change anything I want. I have to go back to the Secretary of State and amend my articles of incorporation, okay? This is all set up by me. I'm the one that set the $2 par, okay? All right, what else? Okay, look here, I forgot to keep this running total here. Gave them 750, we issued another 10,000, so we're at 10,750. As you're keeping this running total, of outstanding shares, please do it next to the transaction that made the change. Okay? I've looked at students' papers before, they got everything in this column jammed up at the top and they can't see what transaction made it happen. Okay? So you notice how I put the 750 across from this transaction, plus 10,000 across from this transaction, and then I just total it up. Okay? All right. Derek, what happens next?
I issued 5,000 shares of preferred for $35,000.
So 5,000 shares of preferred for $35,000. What for $35 a piece? What's 5,000 times 35? Who's got a calculator? What's 5,000 times 35?
175,000.
175,000.
Yes.
Thomas, why did I get $175,000? What kind of shares? What goes into the preferred stock account when I issue new shares? Par. What was the par of the preferred? $25. So, Quincy? 5,000 times 25. 125. Okay? $5,000 shares times $25 per share par value, and then I get paid in capital in excess. $50,000, and now I have 5,000 shares of preferred. Okay? So, I understand you want some rhyme or reason behind this. Quit. Okay? You issue shares, you credit the account for par, and you plug the difference to paid-in capital. Okay? All right, Mo, you all right with that? Why do you get a point off if you step outside the box? It's the rule, right? Okay? So don't fight, just don't step outside the box, right? All right, you get the next one. Yes, ma'am?
Is the stock ever?
No, it can't. Okay? That's when I said you can't issue shares for less than par. Okay? All right, so it's a good question, but that's called watered stock, and you can't do it. It's illegal. All right? All right, you got the next one. Do it yourself. And for those of you who don't have a calculator, 5,000 times 17 is $85,000. Okay, because you're so good at just following the rules, that should have taken you about 2 seconds. Cash, 85, common stock. How much, Quincy? Huh?
10.
And paid in capital in excess, 75, and that leaves us another 5,000 in common. So 50, 750 in common, and 5,000 in preferred. All right, is everybody good? Don't make this harder than it is. There's plenty in this chapter to be hard. Don't make it this, okay? All right? All right. So we've dealt with issuing stock. Now we're going to start talking a little bit about dividends, okay? Remember, we wanted to get Taylor to invest in our company, and we didn't want a loan. We didn't want to give him common stock because we didn't want him to be an owner, okay? So we promised Taylor something if we haven't, okay? Now, look up in the top where it says the description of the preferred stock. You see where it says cumulative preferred? All right, this is where your notebook comes in handy, okay? And I don't know the best way to write this, but basically, if the preferred stock is cumulative and I don't pay a dividend this year, next year I have to pay 2 years worth of dividends. If I don't pay a dividend again next year, the following year, I'm going to have to pay 3 years worth of dividends. Okay? So, if we miss a dividend, if we don't pay a dividend, in any given year, the next year, we would have to pay 2. hate the word worth so much. The alternative is non-cumulative preferred. So, Taylor, what would be more attractive to you as the preferred stockholder? Cumulative or non-cumulative? Cumulative. Lauren, as a common stockholder, which would you rather we sell to Taylor? Cumulative or non-cumulative?
Cumulative.
No. As a common stockholder, we would rather sell him non-cumulative. Because if we keep missing dividends, we're going to dig quite a hole under cumulative. Whereas under non-cumulative, oh, sorry, didn't have any money this year, maybe next year. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So as a preferred stockholder, you would prefer cumulative. As a common stockholder, you would prefer that the cumulative, the preferred stock be non-cumulative. Okay? All right, now, still in your notebook. Still in your notebook, there are 3 dates. The date of declaration. A dividend is a very formal thing. The board of directors have to declare a dividend, so they would have to say, so the board of directors of Coca-Cola would have to say, what is today, November 9th? We want to pay a 10 cents per share dividend. And it's going to take us, y'all understand, it's going to take us a while to get the checks out, right? I mean, we have to write these checks and mail them out, right? So we're going to pay 10 cents per share on December 1st. Well, who gets that dividend? Whoever owns the shares on the date of record. So the date of declaration, there are 3 dates: the date of declaration, the date of record, and the date of payment. So, let's go something like this. Tomorrow is November 10th. We declare 10 cents per share dividend payable. You don't need to write this down, but I think it helps to see it. On December 1st to stockholders of record on November 20th. So that date of record is always going to be in the middle. So I declare the dividend Monday morning. I'm going to pay it December 1st to whoever owns the shares on November 20th. So if you own the shares at the close of business on November 20th and then sell it on the 21st, you're still going to get that dividend check on December 1st. Okay? And the reason that we have these 3 dates is because it takes time to actually process these checks. All right?
Do the shareholders know these dates?
Yes.
So
It's
they
if you pick up a Wall Street Journal on any given day, in the table of contents, there's going to be a thing that says dividends. And you open up to that page, and the publicly traded corporations that declared dividends the day before, because it's a newspaper reporting after the fact, right? And you will see you will see something just like this. And it's a very formal thing.
So they know they can hold on to it until the 21st.
That's right. Okay? So on the date of declaration, we will debit retained earnings and credit dividends payable. Notice what that does to A equals L plus C. The date of record, there's no entry. It just tells us who gets the check. And the payment, we debit dividends payable. And credit cash. So the net effect of those two entries is to decrease assets. What kind of account is retained earnings?
For number 3.
Number 3, it didn't. The net effect of the two. That's why I did it in red ink and said net effect. Okay? It's not number 3. It's the sum of the two. Okay? So listen up. You may have heard me say earlier today that a company doesn't have to pay dividends. Okay? Remember when I was talking about the flexible schedule? I may have said the company doesn't have to pay dividends. That is technically incorrect. A company doesn't have to declare dividends. Once they've declared, they become a liability and they have to be paid. Subtle, but big. Okay? All right. That's a lot. Your homework, there's a couple of problems, a couple of exercises. You got your book? I want you to read the first half of the chapter. If it starts talking about dividends, don't worry about it. So the only thing you need to worry about is issuance, the basic facts, and if you would do for me exercise 1, 2, and 3. Exercises 1, 2, and 3, page 509. And read some of the chapter, okay? There's tons of stuff she can get out of the chapter for conceptual questions here.